Hey guys, this is David from Benchmark. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is Stormcaster. In this video we're going to be talking about traditionally what people have done to get more range out of their RTK systems. We're going to be talking about the problems with that. We're going to be talking about what Stormcaster is, how it solves those problems, and what kind of guys can really make money using this technology. So when we're talking base and rover RTK, typically guys will have their base, maybe they'll just use the internal 1-watt radios, they'll connect to their rover, they'll be broadcasting corrections, and they'll go from there. If they start running into radio range issues or issues when they go behind the hill and there's a little too much of a shadow, in the past what we've always done is gotten to a 35-watt UHF radio instead of just an internal 1-watt radio. And basically what we've done is we've got around the problem by just throwing more power at it. And while it's worked for guys in the past, it comes with a lot of its own issues. All right, so issues with radios is that sometimes you're not going to be able to get the range. When you hit the end of the radio signal, you've hit the end of the radio signal. And if you already are running a 35-watt radio, now maybe you're looking at switching it to a repeater. Now you got to find a better radio spot. If you're running a base booster radio or you're running a repeater, you got to worry about setups like this. You got cables everywhere. You got a box here. You got to haul a 12-volt battery up the hill. And on the rover side of UHF radios, you're always going to have this antenna on the unit. And I'm sure you guys have had it happen at least once where you're walking, the receiver catches a branch, snaps the antenna. Some other issues are radio shadowing. Nolan did a video about that the other day. I'll put it in the corner here. And you got to worry about, guys walking on your toes, using their own radio on the same frequency, and now you're just sort of in an arms race of dialing up the power on your radio to get your own signal rather than the other guy's signal. So traditionally, if guys couldn't get the range they needed or the coverage they needed off of a 1-watt UHF radio, they'd have a setup like this. And now with Stormcaster, you can just leave this at home. Okay, so why does Stormcaster let you ignore all of these radio things and just get your work done in the field? Well, that's because all you need to run Stormcaster is a base, a rover, and cell coverage, and both of them. If you can send a text from the job site, you can eliminate your need for UHF radios. To do that, you're gonna put a SIM card like this one here we have from DAC. You're gonna put that in the base, you're gonna put that in the rover. The base is gonna send its corrections over the cell network through the Stormcaster cloud service to your rover. And your rover is gonna be able to get those corrections. You don't even need to have a whip on it. All you need is the SIM card in the rover. It's gonna get those corrections, and you can get a fix on the job site. You can do your whole job that way. You don't have to worry about radio range or radio power levels anymore with Stormcaster. We actually have a video where Nolan took a rover from our base and he went like 30 miles down the road and was still getting a fix. You can check that out here. I'll put a link in the description. So who can really take advantage of Stormcaster? Well, here's a few stories of some of the customers that we have using Stormcaster taking great advantage of it already. We got a guy doing boundary work in the southeastern US. He's in an area, he's surrounded by Amazon warehouses, UPS hubs, FedEx distribution centers, everything you can think of that might be running radios to step on his toes. So he put a SIM card in his base, put it on the roof of his office. He can do all the boundary work he needs to do, and he doesn't need to worry about any of that. We got another guy doing a lot of cadastral work in the Bahamas. He just puts the base in the middle of the island, and he can take the rover anywhere he wants on the island and get his work done. We got another guy doing transmission lines in New England. He can do hundreds of miles of transmission lines at once because he puts the base right in the middle, and he can go 50 miles on either end and still get a fix with Stormcast. We also have a guy doing highways up here in Canada, and he can do the same thing. He can put the base in the middle of the highway job, and he can go miles and miles on either end of that base without running into radio shadow issues, without running into other surveyors in the area, without maxing out the range of his radio. When you get Stormcaster, how do you get it going? Well, you leave this at home, and then you're gonna take a SIM card. Now you can get a SIM card from us. We have SIM cards from DAC here that we can put in the kit and get to you. It's a multi-carrier card. It'll hook up to whatever carrier has the strongest cell signal when you fire the unit up. And or you can get your own SIM card like I have here. You pop the battery case open, you open the SIM slot, you drop the SIM card in, you close it up. Now you're ready. All you gotta do is set up your base and rover on Stormcaster in Field Genius, and you're ready to go. If any of this sounds like you can probably make a ton of money picking up Stormcaster and leaving this radio at home. And we can get you a 30-day free trial to try this out, free of charge. All you gotta do is set up a data plan, and you're off to the races.